But let's move along because they're going to probably try and violate me, aren't they? That's the last thing I need, isn't it? Do you understand what I'm saying, though, people? Hey, look, you've got to understand the direction I come from and the angle I come from. If you've got kids, if you've got children growing up in the city of Liverpool, look at the 18-year-old kid shot in Botanic Park in Wavertree, 6:30 in the evening, sunny night. You've got families with kids having barbecues, and you get a gang of horrible little rats letting 5 shots off, copping for an 18-year-old kid and leaving him in bushes bleeding, still in hospital but stable. Do you understand what I'm saying? Where did they get that firearm? They never went to the Argos. Who's controlling the firearms? Where's it come from? How have them kids got hold of it? There's been people left crippled because 18-year-old kids are getting access to firearms. Who's giving them that access? Who? The dirty, dying rats, stealing scumbags that call themselves organised crime groups are giving kids left, right and centre firearms. The kids are going out and using the firearms. You don't really understand that, hang on, you'll get 30 rec for that. You'll get a 20 rec for that. Do you think it's all fun and games? Why? Because they're from the weed. And you know what, mate? There's loads of them from the crack, man, you don't even know it. You've got notorious dealers in the city of Liverpool and the crackheads. And you look at a crackhead bumming at the bottom of your street and you look at him in disgrace. But the crackhead with the dealer's card, the crackhead with the watch, you're not looking at him like he's a disgrace. In the hedges are. And don't think they're not. You know, I know a kid that had not a screen, locked down, shifting all the swag, access to all the firearms. Crazy crackhead. And there's loads of them, people. And it's been happening for years and years and years. Trust me, they've all got predictions. They're always twisted off the coke. Eventually, they can't get to the little kid that's minding the gaff, but they can get to the other kid that's minding that gaff. Bring some of that round, lad. And they're all sitting there. 5 of them, locked off in some nice big house in Formby, getting on a pipe. Yeah, you know. And they've got others that have got circles and they have these sex parties. I was screaming about this time ago. And they've got access to GMB, I think it's called. And they bring that GMB to these parties because it heightens everyone's hormones and all this, but it also makes girls and boys very drowsy and easily to control in these sex parties. Don't think it doesn't happen. There's been young lads found dead in the city centre of Liverpool after attending these sex parties. It's classed as suicide when in reality they've been overdosed. GHB, that's what it is. And I'm not talking, mate. I've screamed about it for 6 years, and that's why you get a lot of hatred. You know what it is? You know what shocked me? I was getting bullied by a family called the Farleys. In particular, Christopher. And he used to bully most people in our area. And he used to supply guns. And he used to have kids running all over the world for him, bringing back and guns back. And we were given one of them guns off him through someone else. And that gun was used in the murder of David Regan. And I go to jail and get out of jail. And guess what Chrissy Farley is? A Mason. Big picture of him with high-ranking Masons. So don't get in a mess, people. You need to understand exactly what goes on in the city of Liverpool. And it's all true. You know, I'm not just spouting lies anywhere. If you're not from Liverpool, you won't fully appreciate or understand the angle I'm coming from. If you are, and you're in the know a little bit, you'll know exactly where they're coming from, mate. And in Liverpool, it's generational families. So Birmingham, you've got that gang, this gang, that gang, this gang, that gang, this gang, and they're all controlling themselves. It's not really families. But in Liverpool, you've got families breeding with each other, and it keeps them connected. So that family, from the granddad down, has been distributing in the city for 60 years. And that family's son has married into that family's daughter, and it makes that family connected. And that family's been distributing for 60 years. And every single business they've got, every single bit of money they've ever made, from the granddad down to the nephews, has come from dealing and damaging the infrastructure of the city of Liverpool. That's what it's like. Our family weren't that. We were a new breed. We weren't attached to any of the families. We weren't inbreds. Do you understand what I'm saying? We were just a new family coming on the scene, and they didn't like it. And they went all out to shut us down because we weren't playing ball with them generational families. We haven't came from a long line of criminals. Do you understand what I'm saying? And now I've stopped that process in its tracks. There'll only ever be one G family that got involved in that. It's not continued because I've stopped it. Do you understand what I'm saying? But within the city of Liverpool, when you're hearing about the Lows, when you're hearing about the Farleys, the Carrolls, the Corrigans, do you understand what I'm saying to you? It's been happening since the dads, since the granddads, down to the dads, down to the sons, down to the sons. And that's what's happening in the city of Liverpool. To the point where they've got football teams in second divisions. They've got every private hire taxi in the city. They've got hotels in the city centre. Do you understand what I'm saying? They own streets of properties around Anfield's ground. So anyone that tries to move in on that type of dealt with, they're isolated, they're cut off, they're snitched on sometimes. And that's all fact.